Hey everybody, what is going on, and welcome back to another video. So I'm with the Tahoe here today. I compiled a little list of pretty much all the mods that all you guys suggested and everything that I'm planning on doing. I kind of filtered through all the kind of common stuff that a lot of people were suggesting and thumbs upping one another. But before I get started, I just want to mention about the third row. I know I got a few comments about people telling me to put the third row back in. I'm not sure why, but I'm leaving it out for now just because this being the main reason. So you can see I got my quick jacks here. I just picked them up. I'm actually going down to the garage now to set them up. I'm always using the back for storage. Either I'm transporting something like this, or I'm picking some kind of tool up, or it doesn't make sense for me to have a third row. I don't even use the two back seats. That's not to say that I might not eventually put it back in. I think once we start adding power to the thing, I might just throw it back in just for shits and giggles. We go to the track. If we could pull some decent times off and just having the third row in there, I think it'll be kind of funny having a fully loaded, kind of stockish looking, interior-wise at least, SUV that could still pull off some pretty good times. So eventually I'm sure it'll make its way back in there, but for now it is going to be staying out. Next thing I want to address are the captain's chairs. I got a comment, or a few comments actually, about putting captain's chairs in this thing, and it already has them. You can see they're folded down at the moment, but I'm going to put a link to the video of me taking care of the seats, and you can get a closer look at them when I clean them up and actually put them back inside the thing. The other thing I want to address before we get into this are the headlights. So they've been on here for about 2 weeks now, and the headlights are doing fine. The turn signals, however, I've changed them out. These aren't the original ones I put in. I went on eBay and I got a new set, and these cost me about 28 bucks shipped, because the ones that were on here just kept filling up with moisture. You saw when I closed out the other video, when I did all the headlights and everything to it, that this one kind of had some moisture in it. By the next day, they were both just completely filled up. So I don't know if it had to do with the silicone being on there, if they need to like vent out the heat or some weird stupid thing. But the headlights are absolutely fine. For some reason, the turn signals though, they just got filled with fog and moisture, and they look like shit. So I've got a new set. These I did not put the silicone on, and so far they've been fine. It hasn't rained yet, but so far no humidity has made its way in there and fogged them up yet. All right, so now for the list of future mods. I'm gonna warn you guys right now, this is gonna be a talking video. I'm gonna be going through all this stuff. We're really not gonna be doing any repairs on this today, but if you wanna know what's to come, and if I have your suggestion here, if it's something that you guys recommended me do to this thing, stay tuned and keep watching, because you're gonna wanna hear what's on this list. So starting out with number 1 here, headliner. But you can see it's really coming down in the front here. Same deal on the passenger side. You can see the previous owner actually put some spray glue on there. It's a little bit on the window, and it's still starting to come down again. In the back there by the passenger side, you can see it bubbling up. The sunshade, same thing. It's just all bubbling and coming down. So this is something, I think it's like one of the last things I really need to do to the interior, and I am gonna do it. I'm just kind of been lazy. You guys know I'm filming shit with the Camaro, and this is kind of a big job because it is a pretty big headliner. I gotta pull the whole thing out, strip it down. I still got all the material, but it is gonna be coming. That's probably gonna be one of the sooner mods that you guys are gonna see, is me fixing the headliner. Other thing while I'm in here are the seats. See, these are looking pretty crappy. This back of this driver's seat is kind of starting to tear up even more. The bottom's doing great, so I'm just gonna go on eBay, order the same material I did for the bottom, and I'll probably replace both the seat backs. While I'm at it, I'm finally gonna clean the seat belts. While I have this off, I'm gonna soak them or pressure wash them, super clean them, do something with them. So the seat belts are gonna get cleaned, and I'm also going to put a new heater pad in this seat, because that no longer works. Next thing is the stereo. I know a lot of people commented to put subs and a sound system in it. I'm not gonna probably go all out and put subs and stuff, just because it takes up space. There's really no room in the back to put like a proper sub box, and not just take some space up back there for actually transporting cargo and stuff. I might try to get like a factory kind of style one, where it goes in the panel back here behind the plastic, and if I could just plug that in and not have to run any separate wires, and it'll work with the radio, I think I'm going to do that. As for the speakers, I still have the stock Bose speakers in there. The thing sounds great. It has plenty of volume. Bass is absolutely fine. I really couldn't ask for more stereo-wise. If you guys want to see the radio installation, I'm going to put a link to that video at the top. Also, another thing a lot of people were mentioning was a backup camera. I already have a backup camera in here. So if you want to see that, once again, same video. I installed that when I did the radio. Next thing, 2500 HD hood. This I think is a good idea. I do love the way it looks. Anybody who's not familiar with that, It's basically you're taking a hood off of a Silverado 2500 HD of the same year as the Tahoe, and it's just a more aggressive looking hood. It's kind of taller, and it just looks pretty badass. So that's something I'm definitely going to do. I got to figure out how I'm going to paint it, find a body shop, see where I want to bring it, but eventually that is going to be done to it. Let me move on to the bumpers. Obviously, I mentioned this over and over again. I'm going to be painting these bumpers. I'm probably going to get some rattle cans and do it myself. I've had pretty good results with rattle cans as long as you do it right and color sand it after, polish it. It'll come out looking really good, assuming the paint is going to match. Front grille, a lot of people have asked me to put an aftermarket grill in it or a Silverado front end. I'm not doing the Silverado front end. I'm going to do the Silverado hood, just not the front end, just because it's a Tahoe. This is kind of, you know, the face of the Tahoe. That's what it looks like. I don't want to start mix and matching body panels and putting a Silverado front end on it. That's just something that kind of reminds me of what people do with the Camaros. Like, they'll take a Trans Am front end and put it on a Camaro, and that's not really the way I want to go with this. I'm going to be leaving the front end completely stock. We're just going to be putting that hood on there. You guys hanging in there? I know there's a lot of talking in this one, but next thing on the list is the leveling kit. I did order something to level the suspension out, so that's going to probably be an upcoming video before the headliner. Actually, I'm probably going to do that first. So we're going to take care of the kind of back rake here, and it's going to be level with the front. As for the wheels, I know a lot of you guys suggested that the wheels should be black. Eventually I might powder coat them black. For now, I'm just going to leave them this way because I don't know what I'm doing with the tires yet. I'm definitely going to go with a smaller tire when I have to replace them, because I currently have 305s on there. I'm probably going to go to like a 275 or a 285 because the factory tire size for this exact wheel is like a 265. So I think probably like a 285, 65, 18 would be good. Next thing is going to be the exhaust. A lot of you guys want me to put an exhaust on it. I'm not planning on that anytime soon. This is a daily driver. I'm trying to keep it low-key, quiet, comfortable, not like obnoxious like the Camaro, not how the Trans Am's probably going to be. I want it to be quiet. If I can find an exhaust that kind of has a little bit of a rumble to it, but it isn't really loud and you can't really hear it too much inside the thing, then I might do it. But for now, obviously when we start doing performance stuff, I'm probably gonna have to figure something out. But as of right now, the stock exhaust is gonna be staying on here. Another thing you guys mentioned is the roof rack. A lot of you guys saying take the roof rack off. That's also something I'm not gonna be doing right now. If this thing eventually ends up turning into another project and I get a different daily driver, then I'll go and take the roof rack off, take off the running boards and stuff like that. But right now, this thing's a daily driver. Sometimes I'm hauling 2x4s, drywall, stuff where I need the roof rack. I know I used the roof rack in my old Subaru a lot, so that's gonna be staying on here. I am gonna come in here and at least paint it because I know a lot of you guys mentioned that. You can see in the middle here, it looks kind of gray. The end caps here aren't really that bad, but the middle is kind of gray. So I'm going to come in there, paint that. Running boards, those are most likely staying on here as well, especially if I go and level the front out and the thing's going to be higher. I want to keep them on there. Plus, being it is a Z71, it kind of has this whole like cladding under here that runs all the way along like the fender here, and then it comes out the back here. It's just all this like gray stuff, and to remove that, I believe in the back it's riveted to the body, so you're gonna have holes there, and I don't want to have to deal with having to fill holes and doing all that. I mean, I could just leave the back pieces on and get rid of the middle section, but once again, daily drive it. If it's going to be higher, I want to leave them on there. Plus, I don't mind the way it looks. I mean, I'm kind of going, this is kind of a weird build because I know there's half of you guys are like, jack the thing up 6 inches, big tire, like you want me to do all this off-road stuff, then another half of you guys are like, slam it down and put on 22s. There's kind of no in between. So I'm trying to make it still be a Z71 and kind of off-roady, but at the same time I want it to not be super jacked off. Wow. Not be super jacked up, stay comfortable, stay quiet, but still do some mods to it. So it's kind of weird the direction I'm going with it. Same thing with these window guards. I don't know, I might take these off. I kind of like the way they look. Some of you guys said to remove them. For now, I'm just gonna leave them on there just because they're black and they kind of go with the rest of the silvery kind of black theme that's going on. All right, more power. We are gonna be doing stuff to the engine in this thing. Probably after we do the leveling stuff, I'm gonna pick up a wideband, I just installed one in the Camaro. I'm going to put a link to the first part of that video up at the top of the screen. I'm probably going to pick up the exact wideband and put it in here. I have HP Tuner, so I could come in there with my laptop. Anybody who's not familiar with that, HP Tuners is like a tuning software for GM cars and trucks. You could go in there and change the parameters in the computer and give it some more power. So I'm going to be doing that probably pretty soon. Once I get that wideband installed, we'll just do some basic stuff. Maybe I'll do a 0 to 60. We'll go in there, play with the timing, play with the fuel, hit it again and see how much faster it gets. And then eventually, probably the end of the year, if not sometime next year, being I do drive this thing every day, I have to get the Trans Am running like 100%, so that could kind of be a daily driver before I start tearing into this thing. But we are going to do heads, we are going to do cam, and we are most likely doing boost. Well, not most, we are definitely doing boost eventually. For now, I'm just going to go in there with the laptop, tune it, see what we can get out of it, and then later on we'll start breaking into the engine and actually start doing stuff to it. Before I actually go super crazy with it with boost though, the transmission has to come out of this thing. The L60 is not going to hold up, especially since it has 216,000 miles on it. Throwing any kind of boost at it is an absolutely terrible idea. So we're probably going to put a 4L80 in it. Once again, don't really know when. Eventually, if the thing cocked out tomorrow, it'd probably get a 4L80E right then and there. But for now, we're just going to play around with the laptop and take it one step at a time. All right, I'm trying to get through all this stuff because my battery's dying. But next thing, window tint. Can't do window tint on this thing. I would love to match the front window with the backs there, but being in New York, they are extremely strict with that crap. And not only you get pulled over all the time and get tickets, now with the annual state inspection, they actually test the windows, and if it's anything darker than like 70%, you fail your inspection. So window tint, I can't do anything about it. I drive in the city a lot too. Even if they didn't check with inspection, I would just get pulled over all the time. So that's not going to happen, unfortunately. Vent caps. Yes, I am planning on doing something with these, either respraying them or maybe putting Escalade vent caps on here where they're painted the body style and they kind of have that line going along here. I'm also considering doing an Escalade rear hatch with the spoiler, with the body painted spoiler and brake light at the top. So that is something I'm looking into, and it's definitely on the list as something I'm going to probably do later on. Light bar brush guard. I'm not putting any light bars or brush guards or anything like that on here. Once again, I'm not going super off-road with this. I'm still driving it on the street. I'm in New York. I'm trying to keep it riding stock, keep it looking, you know, relatively stock, aside from the little things I did here, and just giving it more power to take it to the track. That's really my goal with this. It isn't going to be like an off-road build or anything like that. Mirrors. A lot of you guys said I should put tow mirrors on it. I'm not really a fan of tow mirrors. If I honestly, I haven't even looked into them for these. I kind of like the factory mirrors just because they're power folding, and just parking in the city and stuff, I could just press a button, they fold in. I don't have to worry about one getting ripped off. So I'm probably not going to do anything with that. Some of you guys mentioned making them all black, and I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I kind of like it, the body color. Who knows? I might just pull the covers off and spray them black with Plasti Dip just to see how it looks. Suspension, I am going to be replacing the shocks. I'm probably just going to put a set of Bilsteins in here to kind of keep the ride stock, maybe improve it a little more. Once again, I'm trying to keep it riding stock. I don't want to like put a lift kit and affect the ride with torsion bars and all that stuff. So probably just a nicer shock, and just replacing anything that's worn out is where I'm going to go with this. All right, I think the last thing, at least I have on this list, is somebody suggested a train horn. That's probably something I'm going to do. I think it'll kind of be funny just having a relatively, once again, stockish looking Tahoe with just an obnoxiously loud horn, kind of unsuspecting and cool. So that's probably something I'm going to do. But I think that's going to wrap everything up, at least what I have right here. If I missed anything and there's something you're thinking about or you think would be cool, I do, leave another comment below. Actually, yes, I just remembered the body cladding underneath by the running boards, this gray stuff. I am going to restore that. I tried using like back to black and all that stuff, didn't do anything. So I think I'm going to pull the running boards, or at least pull that trim off and take it off and hit it with that like bumper coating kind of gray spray to kind of make the stuff look back stock again. I was thinking of painting it black, but I don't know how it's going to look. I might still do it. I'm probably going to paint the running boards while I'm at it. But I am going to address this because I know this is bothering a lot of you guys, and it's kind of bothering me. It just looks faded at some points and just kind of gross. So all that side cladding and the whole like valance at the bottom here, that's all gray, that's going to all be addressed too. But before I close this video out, I just want to give a follow-up on the wheels and tires. I've been driving with these things for a couple of weeks now, and the ride definitely changed. It's definitely at least a little bit firmer, and it's more kind of, I don't want to say harsh, it just kind of throws you around a little more. So basically you're going down the road, you hit a kind of bumpy road, and instead of you kind of just being like that, now you're just like, it kind of gently jostles you around, if that makes any sense. As I said, these tires aren't going to be staying on here. They just came with the rims, and I wanted to see how the 305 was going to look. I love the way they look, but when it comes to changing them out, I'm going to go to something narrower, probably like a 285, maybe a 275. But you know, 65 sidewall, and most likely also an all-terrain. I'm trying to keep the kind of Z71 look going around, so I'll go with an all-terrain again, but it's definitely going to be a narrow tire. I'm hoping I'm going to do that sometime probably in the fall or the winter. Not only that, acceleration, it really didn't change much. I definitely noticed it doesn't have as much pickup off the line, but it is by no means something that I would even really consider taking into account if you want to put bigger tires on this. It's I barely notice it now that I've been driving it for 2 weeks. I don't even notice the ride being more jarring. I don't notice the acceleration really. Miles per gallon wise, I really can't say. It looks like I maybe dropped 1 mile per gallon according to the computer. I never actually calculated it to see if that's accurate, or what it went from highway before and after. I can tell you this though, when I drove there picking the wheels up, I reset the trip odometer, the calculator for the miles per gallon, and I got 18.9 with pretty much like all highway on the way there. Coming back, I got like 17.6, so it could have just been I'm going in a different direction of the wind or the bigger tires. Regardless though, it didn't really make too much of a difference. I think that wraps everything up. I'm sorry if I bore the shit out of you guys with this one. I know it's a lot of talking, but there's just been a lot of suggestions on this thing, and a lot of people want to see more of it. So I at least wanted to give you guys an update video on the lights, on the wheels, and give you an outline of what's to come. I'm not sure on the exact order of all this stuff, but you know, take everything with a grain of salt. Obviously some stuff could change. I might change my mind about other stuff and decide I want to pull the running boards and the roof rack. As for what's going to be immediately coming next, I'm going to be doing the leveling on it with the suspension. I'm going to change the shift lever inside so the tow haul is going to work, being it's Camaro season and I want to get that thing back to the track. I need to tow with it. And then we're probably going to be tackling the headliner. And who knows, maybe I'm probably going to do the bumpers before the hood, but I really do like that hood, so that is something I would like to get on it. We're going to have a couple of more Camaro videos I have shot, and then we're going to be getting to that quick jack video. I'm actually going to set them up right now and test them out with the Camaro. So you'll see a couple more Camaro videos and then a quick jack video. Once again, I'm not really sticking to one video a week. I'm kind of just throwing them out as I edit them. Also, more Trans Am videos are going to be coming after June, and the Camaro's kind of caught up with all the repairs it needs. Then I'm going to start breaking into Trans Am. I really want to get that interior done. We're going to do the T-top seals. We're going to rip that interior out, get it all cleaned up. Then we're going to start doing detailing on that as far as the body goes. So once the Camaro's all caught up, we're going to do the T-top seals on that. I want to get that interior cleaned out because it is so gross. There are wires everywhere. It just smells like moldy bread. There's like a pool of water in the back quarter panel where it's coming in through the hatch seal or something. So that thing needs a lot of love. And once that's all caught up and running good, then we could probably start getting into more of the deeper mods on this thing. But as usual, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. Link is going to be down below. If you want to grab a t-shirt, link is going to be up on the screen. And I'll see you in a few days.